Hello everybody. Let's make sure that's working. Monitor only, mute out. Good. So you should hopefully not be hearing me in duplicate right now. I've not done this before, so I'm nervous about the potential audio coming back, and I have to get used to being able to hear myself through my headset as well. Submit, yeah, it is closed. Well, give me a second. If I open it too early, people submit, and then they're not here for the games actually being played. It should be open now if you F5 the thing. Can I turn the what? Give me, I think. Test. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Oh, the thing is with the RTX voice, it's like a slight delay. I wonder if I should change that. If we go back to the... Yeah, if we just go straight from the source, this is a bit better. Actually, tell you what we'll do. We'll do that, and then... We're just going to get out of mind. There we go. Okay. Yeah, welcome to An Aging Hermit Plays Video Games. Today in the stream we're going to be playing games made by you. Well, that is the hope, that is the plan. I don't want to minimize that, I want to put this over here. I wish there was a way to get it to show YouTube chat, but it only ever wants to show Twitch chat, which we don't have yet. That is on its way back. We'll be getting back to Twitch soon. How old is Sean? Sean is 30, coming up on 31, at a terrifyingly quick pace. Feels like I turned 30 last week, and there are less than 2 months until I turn 31. 21, I work. Do I work as a freelancer or for a company? And I work for the company of Sean Spalding Games. It has one employee and it's me. Strictly that's a lie, I'm not even a company, I'm just a sole trade. God, monitoring is hard. Hearing my own voice, it's gonna take some while to get used to. I suppose I can always just like take this off and talk and know that I can just use this to check the audio levels if I really want. Am I only playing game I could get? No, we'll play any games. We play any games made in anything. The condition is it has to be made by you, and preferably you stick around to see it being played, and you know, because then the criticism is more useful and there's more of a back and forth and so on. What is the process to submit a game? You have to... Part of the process is working out the process. You have to solve the puzzle of submitting a game to get your game played. Speaking of which, how many we got? 9 so far. We'll cut it off somewhere in the next couple. I'll let some people finish typing, and then we'll play through these, and then when we get close to like 9-10ish or where we'll open it back up, and then do the submitting. Oh, I suppose I should... Accepting games is, you. Thank you, Cristiano Silly. Subbing up. Glad to know that YouTube alert box is working. The thing with the YouTube alert box is like, he might have just been watching some tutorial. You know, he's not guaranteed to be here. So it makes me feel weird, like, acknowledging each one. Like, oh, thank you for the sub and the follow and so on. But, I don't know, they're probably just watching my more popular game maker videos or something. Like, oh, subscribe. Or not here right now. Let's get this chat popped out from there. Let's be bigger so I can actually do it. Hey there, Streamlabs there. That'll do. 11. Is it gonna get to 12? We're gonna get 12. I'm gonna click the button. I'm gonna click the button, you better type fast. Oh yeah, technically there's 10 because Full Panics is still there. We'll try yours first then if that's been updated. Oh, number 12 if you're out there. I don't know if you're out there. But you're kind of fine. I'm gonna press F5 if there's more than 11. No, there isn't. Right, good enough. Alright, let's try and get the Volpanics game up again then. Because this guy submitted a game last time, but my computer was very convinced it was a virus. So we decided to wait to see if he could fix that. We'll try. He said try the installer. Sorry, Volio. Sorry, Doom Girl. Just if you wait like for us to get through these 11 games, when we get to like 9 or 10, we might open it back up again. So you'd get it in at the same time as it would have been played anyway. I only close it after this mini because if people submitting now, they'd have to be waiting a while anyway. So I don't want people to just leave before the game gets played. So I'm trying to like encourage people to stick around while their game is played. But we'll see. It depends how long. I don't know. It's always hard for me to guess how many games I'm going to get through. Maybe we only get through these 11. Maybe we get through 15. Maybe we get through 20. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Let's see if we can install this. I usually hate installers, but we're trying to get... Okay. My computer no longer convinced that this is a Trojan, so that's good. Honestly nervous to submit your game we played? Just do it, man. We've played things from the whole spectrum of skill levels, of quality, of stages of development. Okay, let's get music even out here. I like this. OBS? There we go. Oh shit. Control F1. Okay. I want whatever the default is. Okay. menu. It's good. Consistent pixel sizes. At least it looks that way. Passed test number 1 of being a pixel art game. Okay, it's time for your test. Apparently my first task is figuring out what button to press to proceed dialogue. Z. Okay. The stress call from within the Ackley Forest. The call said there was nothing dangerous, it's likely someone just ran out of mana. So that's why I'm sending you, it's about time you were given your first task. Good luck, make me proud out there. So we got a dude, we can move around, we can jump. Can we drop down? Okay, no. I'm just naturally used to when I see a platform like this, like, you can drop down through it. Okay, we got like a double jump with a cast bar? Interesting. So that means in theory, like, you can do like a triple jump? Maybe not. No, because it only recharges when you actually hit the floor. Okay. Might be, I don't know. We'll see how this develops. Save point? Oh no, what does this do? Did I actually... I thought I was activating that, but that just seems to be an ability. Okay. It is a save point, but just not the way I thought. What's this? So can I... Okay, that uses up my... But it just shows the bar is full when I do that. It's like just when I'm touching the floor and that instantly refills. So this feedback mechanism for your abilities and so on is not immediately super clear. Okay. Okay, so that's not like a persistent effect, it's a immediate hit. Oh, I've taken like 2 points of damage. Rip. Oh, I just realised we forgot to do a proper intro for YouTube. Oh well, they're just gonna have to put up with this being weird. It's like just immediately starting in a game or something. So, for those of you joining us on YouTube, wondering what the hell you're watching and why it's like 3 hours long and why I seem to be playing some random game. What we do in this stream is we play games made by you guys, my viewers who've been watching my tutorials or found me by whatever other means. God damn it. And I somehow try and muster some intelligent things to say about them, criticism or feedback or just places to maybe go from wherever you're currently at. General advice on how to grow further as a developer. We take games of all different skill levels, the whole spectrum of game quality. I keep thinking I can go up here. I don't know why. It's just the absence of a ceiling here really makes me feel like I can go up there. We take games of all different skill levels. and we play them for whatever reason you might want them to be played. Maybe you just want a bit of attention for the game, and it's hard to get your game seen by other streamers or whatever, or maybe you just want some feedback, or you made a jam game and you wonder how you can do better next time. Whatever reason you might have, we play a lot of stuff. And honestly, it's just a way for me to chill out in between making videos, because right now I've just finished encoding the latest episode of the ARPG, episode 25. We'll be getting that up later today. But meanwhile, we're playing your games. You have to be here for the streams to get them played, so you've got to be here usually on a Friday. And I don't promise to be any good at your game, as we're finding out right now. Right, I don't need to feel compelled to beat all these dogs. Are they dogs? Are they frogs? Wait, I've been here, haven't I? That's the same building. Man, the save point is far away. Did I miss any? Did I miss a save point? Ow! It's a common thing lately, this whole, like, hit point bars that don't use the natural thing of being a bar, in which they can actually, they stretch to fit, and rather than, like you're using segments to represent an actually very digital amount of life, as opposed to using hearts or something like that. There's nothing wrong with that. Just a interestingly common thing I've seen lately. Often using... It's just been a common thing with some fighting games and stuff lately, like, there's ways to create, when people create simplified fighting games, because you're used to seeing a hit point bar, right? So they show you that bar, but then clearly split into segments to indicate how it's different, but still kind of the same, I'm not really sure I'm getting the feedback that's intended from this blue bar here. I get... Like, it's taught me one lesson, really, and that's that, your powers are refunded when you land, right? Which, that only seems super relevant to the double jump, and that's sort of a naturally assumed thing, or a very quickly learned thing through experimentation about double jumps anyway, so I'm not sure it's super necessary. We finally got to a new save point now. Foolish human! Villains are a big fan of the word foolish, aren't they? You answered the distress call of a devil. Oh, ruh-roh. A screw tape signature. Oh, they do persistent damage over time. Oh god. Do I have some teleport ability I don't know about? Like some sort of blink? How do I get through that? Weirdly, their hit point bar is also split into segments, even though they don't take segmented damage. That's a little odd. I get that you probably have those segments to show, like, 25%, 50%, and so on, which is reasonable, but when you've got it having such a consistent look to this, my first guess is like, oh, I gotta hit them 4 times. Which is then sort of immediately contradicted by the mechanics. It's not the worst problem, but it stands out, Magic power has been increased by 1, you found a newest broom. Oh, okay. That took me a moment. Okay, so this is becoming a bit more relevant now I see this segment. This is why I waited. I waited a while before criticizing that, because I was like, oh, is that going to develop into something? And then the moment I decided to criticize it, it's like, oh, actually, it's in there for this, John. Can I swap this? seem to have another... This is just a represent. Or do I actually have some other power that I can toggle to? Don't have an escape menu. Those stars not moving in parallax just made me assume they were a thing. Like I'm trying to collect them. Because they are like moving with everything. I feel like I wouldn't have used bars for this thing. I don't know, maybe I would have used like a dot somewhere on the screen, like an orb or something that like faded out. But it doesn't not work. I feel like I've got to learn how to use this thing. A and S. So nothing in the game taught me your controls. That's an issue. I don't feel like I got this power, and then I still don't really know what sort of situation it's meant for. Maybe it's for crossing long gaps like that, but I didn't need to use it for that, right? Because I could just double jump across it, which I did. Yeah, it says on the itch page isn't good enough, really. Like, because I can just not read that because I'm lazy and stupid. You gotta account for that. Ah, okay, we just do that. So, I mean, that's cool and all now, I know it's there, but like... Do I even need to use it here? Like, barely. Like, if I still haven't really worked it out there, I might just be trying to do that jump for ages, right? Also, this looks suspicious. Maybe not. Like, I've got two things at once is a bit of an issue. Like, I've got this double jump, triple jump even, and I've just unlocked this. You probably don't want to do both at the same time. Or if you do, you want to be explicitly clear about it. So for a while I thought, like, oh, I got this broom, and that's just given me the power to do a triple jump. It took me a while to even notice that this existed, like this icon was on screen. Yeah, I mean, I should say this is very cool. But, you know, just talking about what's done well isn't super interesting. Oh. Okay. Nah. I think this is another game that could benefit from something I've been talking about lately, which is just being a bit more explicit with your teaching. Like, I can see in the level design trying to do cute little things where like, oh, now you have to learn how to use this mechanic and so on, but it's not done well enough to justify not having some text that's like, press this button to swap your powers, press this button to use this power, here's what this power does, you know? It wouldn't have really hurt your game to have some text that was like, the broom can help you dash across a pit of spikes, you know? I know no one wants to do that because everyone wants to be like, ooh, elegant level design, but just it's not worth the risk. It's not worth the risk of someone not knowing how to play. No, it's playing a dangerous game. It's possible. I never learned about this. I never had you in chat to tell me A&S swaps power, and I'm like, well, I learned a double jump, but it just seems like this, because the jumps almost seem possible with the double jump is the worst part. So I would just be like trying that for ages, and then be like, it's too hard, and then I would just, I'd stop playing. I wouldn't even know there was a whole nother power that would just get me over. So what's the deal there? Did I hit that? No, like invincible for a short period? At the end of it? Something like that, I'm not sure. Does just using the jump at all take a power? No. Okay, it worked that time. Dunno. I like the ideas here are great, by the way. Like, all these powers are like cool and interesting. You combining them in interesting ways. Level design isn't bad. Like, there's a lot of cool little just exploration of your mechanics, right? Just like, ooh, what's possible with these, like the combination of these few things. We've not had it. We've kind of gone into prison platformer mode, which is interesting. Like, we've kind of come out of, like, just seeing the snare. Oh god damn! Has reminded me that there is combat in the game. I think maybe you should stick to one or the other. Generally, I don't know. Some of this is feeling a bit like, what if Celeste had monsters? And the answer is like, oh, it wouldn't be as good. But that's fine, You're just making a game, playing around, making different mechanics, and seeing what fits and what doesn't. But like, like Hollow Knight, for example, is much more about its combat. Celeste is much more about its movement. I'd pick one. It's not that you can't do both. It's just I wouldn't recommend it. It's one of those unless you know what you're doing kind of caveats. Ooh, wait a minute. Did I just like I just shot one of those? I plan to be a lot more explicit in the future. A friend of mine damage boosted into the screen where broom was necessary and couldn't get through. Yeah, that's exactly the kind of problem you run into, which is good that you recognize that. Yeah, you see that like I through, like even then. Sometimes when I land, like throws the attack downwards. I'm not sure if I'm inputting something that's doing that. Interesting. See, now I'm like in combat mode, that's what I'm thinking about in terms of the this mechanic. Swapping powers is always a tricky thing as well. I know this from experience somewhat, where we made a game at university about a wizard that had a bunch of different platforming powers and would have to like swap between them. You could have 2 of them active at any point in time. Kind of worked, but like mostly you're just like swapping mode, right? Every level is like, okay, I need these 2 powers, and it was just annoying whenever you needed a 3rd one, because like, okay, let's cycle through, and it's like, it's not the most like nice flowing thing in the world. Oh. I'm realizing there's not really a good reason for me to fighting everything I come across. We're probably playing this for way too long, by the way. But that's a testament to it, you know? Like, I think we'll leave it at that. How do I quit? See, all these buttons. Do we have a menu button? Enter. Okay. So yeah. Very cool. Very nice music, very nice art, decent-ish level design. Be more explicit with your teaching. Tell players your controls. And pick combat or precision platforming. Focus on one or the other. And probably cut the other one entirely out of the game. All right, those are my 3 pieces of advice for that one, I think. I'd maybe say something about the feedback with the bars, but I think that was fine, really, all things considered. Thanks for that one. It was cool. This was it, right? Cool. Unnamed bullet hell from Matt. Prototype bullet hell in space. Video game. This is going to be another installer. Okay. God damn it. I have to uninstall all these games at the end of these streams. I always forget. Still got a bunch installed from previous streams. Full screen, controls. See, look at this. That's cute. Shoot, RMB, move west, warp, RMB. Okay. That was it. Press space to... What? This feels like it's going somewhere that... Wait, that wasn't... I pressed space, it was moving the title, and then I clicked on the thing that says press space to start. And then it started. This is a joke I don't get. Warp. Okay, that's cute. Woo! Do I have a limited amount of those? I'm guessing I do. I think it's that. I think I saw that in the corner of my eye, the blue bar going down. Can I shoot the moon? No. Oh, there was a... Oh! I collected some bits that were very faded out. That's very subtle of a thing to collect. Plants don't do much. The green and the yellow peas. Let's get all the peas. It'll make a different noise, so we can shoot it. Ow! Wow, rip. Is that it? It's just off. It's just done. Just done there. Oh, apparently restarts the whole game. Okay, this time I pressed space and it started. Well, I'm gonna assume there was like a bug. Oh, I have an accuracy rating. And it's turned red. For probably uncapped draw set blend. Or draw set color thing going off. I don't know. I assumed it was telling me I just had bad accuracy, but I don't remember it doing that last time. Okay, that's a lot of points. What's this doing? Other than decreasing my accuracy. I think I invested a bunch of points in this. Was I meant to put it here? But I think these are like... Are these upgrades? I'm out of points. That's pretty much it. Okay. Okay. I think this is to be intended to be some kind of like upgrade screen, like there's like a life gain, maybe a max life gain, um, lives gain, maybe p up. Older version shouldn't have let you spend point. Okay, this is cute. First of all, I like this like warp mechanic. I think the line is just the fact that it's called warp is makes it fairly clear what it does. The sound effects are simple but actually work really well. I liked the different sound effect on the bullet that like moves slowly and follows you, because the bullet otherwise looks very similar to the other ones, but the sound effect helped drive home that there was a different mechanic going on there. That was good. Somewhat inconsistent pixel sizes on some things. You probably want to put a font on this rather than the default font. Oh, escape just closes the whole thing down. Okay. Some sort of bug on your main screen as well, where like pressing space didn't start it, but clicking on it did start it. But it was pretty alright. Like, there was pretty clear feedback in the shooting. I had no idea what was going on with that end bit. With the upgrades or whatever. Obviously, it seems like it wasn't finished, but nonetheless, like the iconography and stuff isn't really enough to work out what's going on there. I would make your little bits that you collect after killing a thing bigger or at least brighter. They're quite dark and they like fade into the background, and they're almost like fully transparent. You can still pick them up, and it's a little bit jarring and confusing. Also hard to know what they all do because they're different colors. Some of them made my warp go up. Some of them, I don't know, maybe they gave me health back, and some of them were just giving me like points which you can use to upgrade or whatever. None of that stuff is very clear. But the basic controls and the playing of the game, move a thing around, shoot at things, bullet hell, very clear. Pretty good. I like the boss. I like the things. I like the bullets. That stuff was good. Everything else was a bit confusing, but felt unfinished. But I guess it just was. hard to know what to say about it from that point. But thanks for that one. Named bullet hell from Matt. A Newgrounds link. Just passing. A young name named Joel. A Mother 3 style top-down collectathon with ghosts and jokes. Should I be using cleanup event or destroy event for destroying stuff like DS maps? Either works. The cleanup event just covers a few more things, like it covers restart. Like the cleanup event will trigger when the destroy event is triggered, so if in doubt, use the cleanup one. But ideally just you destroy the DS mount when you're done using it. Sometimes yeah, you'll need them through the death of the object, but first time playing, default control string. Movement, ZX, and return. Okay, it's about as zoomed as we can get. Maybe one more. No, okay, let's keep it at 200. Oh. But it's in a flash window. What? What? Whatever. This all looks nice though. I like this. This is cute. Oh, someone's learned how to use these effects and is probably gonna overuse them. So, these effects are very powerful. They're very, very useful for establishing like giving a voice and a tone to text in a way that's otherwise very difficult. Okay, when you only got the option of bold and italic and things like that, there's only so much you can do. These cool wavy movie text effects that have become very, very popular since around Undertale. They've existed way before that, obviously, but they've become very popular in a post-Undertale world. They're super, super useful, but they can be completely overused. And if you overuse them, they're going to use their impact, and they just kind of make the text read weirdly. Like here, like an italic font or something. I mean, I know that's hard with pixel art or whatever. Would maybe be about as far as I would go to emphasize coolness. You know, waving up and down like that, it feels a bit too much to me. But it's not a big deal. So far. We'll see if it becomes a trend. If it becomes a trend, it becomes a bigger deal. But otherwise, it's not high on the list of problems. What exactly is this place? This kind of works. This less. This down here as well. This is very minor. Again, I'm picking minor things just because I just am. But this feels like a slight aesthetic conflict in style. The way, like, I think the pixel sizes are smaller in the white. Might be why. Just doesn't quite match up to like the bus and the other stuff. Everything else looks gorgeous, by the way. And individually, this is a great looking effect. This is a great looking bus, but together, it looks a little weird. Just realizing I've not paid nearly enough attention to that text. I was too busy talking about things. What's the deal? What's going on here? Okay, it's just set X. Nice music. Yeah, as you can see, not currently accepting games. go to the station. There's a need to wash. Well, I feel like I've not paid nearly enough attention, which is my own fault. We got a bit of a sprint. And I get it. When you write something like that, it looks cool and you just want to do it everywhere. Like, I've written this effect, so I'm gonna use it. We're gonna put this effect everywhere. And this joke as well. This is where I was meant to be going, at least. I like the way that bounces. Okay. Is that on a timer, or did I go... Or is that me going off? Okay. It's not, you can't just use it as generic emphasis on everything. I want to point out again, as we're doing this, like, criticism is more interesting, so that's what I tend to focus on, when obviously we can acknowledge there's lots of great stuff going on here. Like, these effects, even though I think they're visually a little inconsistent with the art style, like, just having these little dusty effects as you walk is great. The feel of the movement is really nice, especially the HTML5, that can be a pain in the ass sometimes. All the art is generally really, really strong. That's a really nice transition effect. These text boxes are good. You know, it's just this is a bit overused. This here is fine. Kind of. It's a bit over the top, but it's fine, right? Because you get the idea. Whoa, what the heck, you know, right? And this one I like. See, this would be great. This would be great if this was the first time you did this. If there was no wavy text up till this point, this would be great, right? Hello. Like, that's great. That's a perfect place. That's a perfect place for the wavy text, right? Like, creepy, weird eye creature says hello. Wavy text. Perfect. But it's ruined by the fact we've seen this wavy text everywhere, and it's kind of watered down into a generic, like, emphasis, right? Like, the waviness feels just intrinsically better coming out of this character. I almost wish that was wavy rather than shaky. Oh no. There's like a really colourful river Styx. In about a month, it's good. Unnecessary. Bold or something, highlight in colour if you want to emphasize that it's a game mechanic. That would be a good idea. Where are these quest updates? I looked in the thing and I didn't find anything that... where was it? Enter. What was it? People using Enter for menus and people using Z and X all the time. When did that become a thing? When did everyone get obsessed with Z and X and pressing Enter for menu? Was it Undertale? Did Undertale do this to everyone? I don't know. People will be like, oh no, it was Mother. It was the Mother series. Nah, you played Undertale. When it's point in the 7 Souls support, I don't have any. What's going on here? And obviously it should be noted that my criticism scales, so the better your game is, the more nitpicky I'm going to be, right? So if I seem to be complaining for ages about something seemingly minor, it's probably a good thing. I know we haven't seen much, but we'll probably have to move on from this soon. I mean, we get the general idea, we've seen it, we critiqued a little bit of it. Minor grammar mistake. I tend not to care about that kind of thing, it's just not an interesting criticism a lot of the time. Oh, you spelled a word wrong. I like this kind of game as well. Like, I would love to play this through to completion, but we need to move on soon. Left section of the lake. Okay, we'll go there and then we'll finish. I like the giant duck, black duck thing. Hang on, who's this guy? I was about to say, it seems like you've chilled out on the wavy text and then you come right back. I do need to start picking up the pace of these games though, I'm spending way too long on each one. I want to talk to you. Do I just cast out like a radius when I interact? Interesting. I like the little red thing that comes up when you interact with stuff as well. Invisible wall. Oh, hello. Big snake. Got the interacty thing, but I can't seem to interact. I want to talk to this guy. Well, that didn't work. That's unfortunate. Right, well, we're going to leave this one here, but it was very cool. If you want to check this one out, Just Passing on Newgrounds. From Joel Likes Pigs. frequent stream viewer. I recognize his avatar. He's here a bunch. Thanks for that one. It was very cool. That wet Randy. Cool. Wall climb from Manuel Era Zavel. How many we got left? 8. I think I have this overlay and I just like never update it. Move with arrow keys, climb to the top. That's about it. Cool. Just how we like it. How do I get rid of this bar? Guess we can just zoom in loads on this. Ugh. Okay. All right. The controls a little tricky. But I guess that's part of it. This reminds me a bit of some of the gravity puzzles in Outer Wilds. Which, man, if you've not played Outer Wilds, go play Outer Wilds. That game is so good. Ah. I think I was upside down for a moment there. So, there's a thin line this is kind of straddling between controls that are. I don't know if controls is the right word. Mechanics. A game that is what feels intentionally difficult, um, intentionally tricky with the gravity and stuff like that. But there's just little moments of jank in it that are straddling the line between that intentionally difficult, hard to handle, hard to controlness and kind of just jankiness, if that makes sense. And the problem with jankiness in this regard, the sort of the way the controls handle, are a little tricky to get used to. Is that yeah, go upside down. Is that sometimes I think it's possible to solve this stuff in ways that are maybe not the intended way, and it feels a little bit weird. Do I have to touch that? Right, so it's not about getting close, you actually have to touch them. I'm not actually sure how I would fix that issue with this, though. It's quite a tricky one. Just tapping the button because I'm like, which way is this gonna make me move? And careful when you're building vertically climbing games about doing stuff like this, because if I fall from there, and even if I fall down here, but if I fall from there and I go down an entire screen, that's gonna really suck. Like that! I'm not gonna do all those screens again. That's too much effort. Why would it? No. Maybe. Ugh. Well, it stood on the black for a moment there. I like the idea behind this quite a lot. I would generally make it so that when you fall from one screen, you're not going to fall down through another one. You might be like, well, getting over it does that. When you fall from a thing, you fall like all the way down to the start, and it's like sucks, but it's like the main thing of the game. Yeah, but he knew what he was doing. And I don't think that idea. I don't know. Maybe you could say it works here. If there were more to its design that made that feel more explicit, then maybe. Oh, it's weird that the controls are inverted upside down because I'm going to want to immediately let go of left and then hit right like that. Why am I upside down? Why do you leave the potential for like a huge fall like that? Oh, okay, so now I'm a bit more safe. Why has it gotten easier? Feels like this bit. Oh Christ. Oh, okay. Well, actually, the jump goes quite far. This is good though. Like, ah, ah. Like explosive gaming. What made you think that like a middle of a live stream where I'm playing other people's games was the correct place to come and get me to explain to you how to make a player text box rather than simply Googling game maker tutorial text box, which there are several videos, some made by me, explaining how to create. You can do it, man. I believe in you. You can find your way to those videos. Ah, oh, I give up here. But this is good. At first, I was just like, it's hard to tell when it's straddling that line. Like, is this intentionally like this, or is it just not very good? I think it's intentionally this way. I think I don't. I think it does work. Um, it sometimes goes over that line of just being a bit too mean in a way that just feels unnecessary, and like I'm not really laughing with the game. I'm just like, why did you do that? That's lame. And I know it just makes me feel unencouraged to continue when I fall down a long way or I'm like struggling with the controls. Um, but I think generally the game is like trying to lean into that, and but you can tell from the way the jumps are set up and stuff. Like it's the challenge is in mastering the weirdly confusing controls or whatever. So I think I can forgive it a lot of that. I think you kind of knew what you were doing with this. So I think it works okay. Probably want a better font with this up here. You said you made it for your friends to speedrun, so yeah, fair enough. But it's good. It's simple. The physics are a little janky, like you can turn it upside down sometimes, and you really want that to not be the case if you're making something that's intentionally a bit frustrating or a bit weird like this. You kind of want it to make it consistently frustrating, you know? You don't want it to ever feel like it's doing something you did not intend, right? That's the line you're trying to straddle. If anything feels like just carelessness on your part, then it stops feeling like a fun challenge being presented to you by someone and starts feeling like just not very good. Yeah, this is good that you can master it. Oh, like what's going on there? I have no idea what I'm gonna press is gonna do what there. Unless that's meant to be... No, there's no invisible wall there. And that like just it degrades my trust in it, you know, because I'm just then like oh, am I meant to be doing this way? Is that just a bug? Is this how it works? So you actually have to be, when you're doing something that's like intentionally not bad, but like intentionally confusing or frustrating, you have to be very, very consistent with how it works. I'm close to the end. Well, now I'm not. No, I'm gonna leave it there. Sorry, but it's good. Thanks that one. First game again. Solid. Solid game. Thanks for that one. Eudora the Exploder. Hola, Minamo Edora. Navigate your way through a ruined temple to retrieve an ancient artifact. Yeah, that's the thing, is like making it clear that it's your fault and not the game. Which I think it works a bit, because you've got that minimal aesthetic, that short couple of instructions at the start that sort of imply actually there's more to it than this, but like I'm just not telling you. And yeah, it's got a bit of that flavor. I think it just needs just a bit more. Where is this? That's downloaded. I didn't see who made this, actually. Game by Nemo Pell. Oh, it's you. Cool. Navigate your way through a ruined temple to retrieve the ancient artifact. As a self-proclaimed professional exploder, you are equipped with nothing but explosives. Be careful not to use more than 2 bombs per room, or the temple might collapse. West... Oh, WDA space, rather. F... and the mouse. And a bunch of other stuff I'll forget. Yeah. There's F to enter a door. So I have to blow it up. Oh no, I'm out of bombs. Right, okay. Okay, so first off, yeah, it's a nice art style. Not immediately clear that I had to blow open the doors, so I'm just experimenting with my controls and don't realise that I've screwed myself for this first level. This whole area of level design is irrelevant. Not necessary. I know it's like, oh, maybe I'm teaching the player to jump or whatever, you know, you don't need to do that, not really. Or at least do it in isolation, you know, like, I know the control for jump, so you don't really need this. Instead, this should have been focused on entirely just being about this door and about learning to blow the door open. This is a bit clearer because I see the things with the cracks in it already. So the door is already open, but like it has it's more an arch than a door, right? Also, nothing happens when I try and place the second one. It just doesn't work, which isn't the best feedback. It's clear because I've read the instructions, but it's not like... Imagine someone had just started this without having read the instructions, which is going to be common, right? That is a remarkably tight jump. If it is meant to be doable. Okay. Okay. Issue here, the jump almost looks doable. Why, that's a bit too close. So I'm like thinking at first you've just made a really tight jump. Well, that's not too bad. I think... Hang on, how does that... How far do you go? Because you don't go much further, is the thing. It's not distinct enough, I think. I think it needs to send you maybe a bit further. Maybe your normal jump needs to be a bit less horizontally, so it's like super clear. Like I should only make it to like here. So it should be clear that I'm missing something and I need to do it in a different way. And I don't have much to experiment with, so the actual layout of the level I think is fine. And it's just the concept of it, you know, platform, 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 door. I think that's fine. I think just the distances involved kind of ruin it a bit. So now I've learned that those bombs can now those bombs can push me or like put force on me. I have an idea in my head already about how to solve this level, so we'll see how it goes. Is there any difference between... Oh, okay, I can like... Oh, what? That was weird. I'm gonna assume that's just kind of like... Yeah, you can detonate them early. This is quite a step up in difficulty. Like having to do the jump and the explosion at the same time is cool. Got a huge leap from what the last level expected of me, which is to just put it in the right place, explode it, and then you went across. Like that was super simple, and then to go from that to having to detonate them at the same time, detonate them manually, also detonate them in the air and at the right time. Like suddenly there's a lot more going on, like very rapidly. I think you could have warmed up to this a bit more. Okay. Thought they might just weigh them down, but they just... Ah, I did it and then hit restart instead of... So far, your other effects. I mean, everything's been quite simple, right? But that all feels a bit lazy. I mean, you restart in general and you're exiting through the room. So a big win for you here would be to put simple transitions in. Okay, when you finish a room, simple transition of some kind, fade, anything, a sliding thing, any kind of visual transition, and then also a visual transition when you die of some kind. Okay. A death animation or something that isn't just like that, okay? Okay. Their behavior not immediately clear, how they like kind of walk like that. And I kind of have to learn by failure as well, which isn't the nicest feeling thing in the world. Okay. Tricky. Can't quite reach below. And you die very quickly when they see you. Oh, they go towards right. Okay. And eventually they reset. So we want to do this kind of thing, right? I like the amount of little puzzles you've gotten out of these strange mechanics. How do I get something? Ooh. You can actually go in between the blocks. Okay. Usually when bombs hit other bombs, they like blow the other one up, so I wasn't sure that would work. Which way around do I want to do it again? The one in front, then that one. Okay, we'll leave this one here because it's coming up on like 10 minutes. That was really cool. Yeah, so I think a big win for you would be add some transitions between rooms and when you die. Maybe a little bit of in-game clarity about the mechanics that teach you things rather than just having to read an instructions page, you know, just some messages in the game or something like that that are like, here's how these things work, or even just like a little clue about how things work. The golems with the shoot lasers weren't immediately very clear, and how they like move towards sound, stuff like that. You can slowly put it together, which I guess works, but I would be maybe a bit more explicit, because then you can get through to the more interesting stuff quickly. Generally, they're pretty good. I think that's my. I think those are the biggest things. So there are other things I could say, but I think I would focus on those. Be a bit more clear about how things work. Add some transitions. Add some feedback when something kills you or something like that happens. Those are the main immediate improvements I would make. Like just things like that are really contrived, like the whole you can only use 2 bombs kind of thing. I feel like there needs to be some in-game feedback or explanation or something that it lets you know about that. It's good. Don't we just delete that one? Did it not go away? Well, hopefully we didn't delete anyone else's. Here's some links. Some more. Thank you for subscribing, whoever did. That's probably what it was. 6. Hopefully we didn't just accidentally skip one. It felt like we deleted 2. Hope for Home by Basics 101. I was gonna say, do I have to download the music? See, that's the ideal way to package a game, is a zip with the thing, and then I can just extract all, hit run, and we don't have to install anything. You're going for a walk and a tsunami comes. And you wake up and you're in a beach, not on a beach. But there's some wild capitalization going on here. Collect the capital S seashells to capital T2, capital E by the capital B boat, capital H home. Some seashells. Speed boost costs 30 seashells. Do we think that's a solid investment to allow us to collect seashells faster? I don't feel much faster. I'm not sure that was a good investment of a quarter of the required seashells needed to beat the game. Aww. I capital G get away and live a happy life where I used to live. Coding me, music and SFX me, playtesting brother and sister, art me and sister. Thank you for playing. Short, sweet, simple. It's how we like it. It's how we like it. Okay. What do we have to say about this? So obviously there's no challenge or conflict or whatever in the game, but that's not intrinsically wrong, right? You can make a game that's just a chill experience. And that's fine. So what you want to focus on here then, if that's the case, and that's the sort of thing you're going for, can I get this open again? What was it called? Seashell game. 2-week game jam. So you wanna emphasize the feel and the aesthetic of stuff, right? Because you don't really have much in terms of mechanics or anything that's like engaging people. So you're engaging people via the ambience and the aesthetic of the game. This isn't the prettiest aesthetic, alright? You got big aliased font, black text on blue background. So you wanna, yeah, it's a bit of a strain on the eyes. I don't think this was necessary. I don't think you needed this upgrade. You know, I'm not sure you even needed the boat, but I suppose, you know, you were just trying to develop something and have a goal and a place to get to. But maybe it's just a game where collecting seashells forever. Yeah. How far can you scroll down here? No, it doesn't go forever. Okay. And we just sort of spawn more over time? I think they just spawn more over time, do they? It's a bit loud, actually. Let's just turn it down. Oh wait, that's gonna turn my voice down as well. God, I forget how that works. Yeah, let's close it out. Trying to think what the most appropriate thing is for you to focus on. going forward. I think it's feel, right? So I think maybe like you pop into these seashells and they just disappear. Make a noise, and that's fair enough. Maybe just have them grow and disappear and create like a nice visual effect or something like that. Or since that's the whole game, right? The whole game is you move down the beach and collect the seashells. You want to make that particular experience feel as nice as possible. So you want to put all of your time really into the aesthetic and the feel of collecting the seashells. All right, make them as pretty as possible. Make the effect really nice, and like that's where you want to focus your time if this is the goal of the game, right? Yeah, that's about all I have to say for that one, I think. Cool, well done. Crossing the border, Caesar Baldo. Find the NPCs. The Pope is very near the workshop. Okay. Hurrah. $60 megabytes. It's quite a few songs in this game. Extract here. Oh, it doesn't automatically show you. It probably could set. I'm sure there's probably a way to get WinRAR to do that. What was it called? Something crossing the border. Excuse me. Oh, I don't know if I actually caught my sneeze or all of it there with the NVIDIA RTX. It's quite clever. It like filters out all background noise. Look, I can do this. Don't even get any of it. Like that's crazy. Like I think I can do the clapping thing as well. Like you can't even hear it. Nuts. And yeah, it still recognizes my breathing as well. Like it'll hear that. That's human enough for it. Crossing the border. Your administrator requires a security scan of this item. This could take up to 10 seconds. Golly. Ah. Can I just want to play a game. It's just a Unity executable. You can see all the DLLs. It's probably fine. Yep, there we go. 2 of them. Made with Unity. No one gets mad about that splash screen. Everyone hated the splash screen in Game Maker. I don't want people to know my game was made with Game Maker. Ew. Made with Unity? Yeah, sure, why not? Made with Unity. Hashtag made with Unity. Oh, we're so proud to use Unity. Okay. Made by Magic Weapon. Thought I was going to quit the whole game then. I'm not controlling this. Bit loud. turn this down a little. Bit louder. A little better. Can I hear myself? Test, test. God, this must be loud. It's quite hard for me to... Hello? Okay. That's decent enough. Alright. Hello, my name is... That's... Like... Can we... That's some... small text. I mean, it might just be because I've got a big resolution here, and you let me pick my resolution, and it's probably scaling. You can't hear me. How can you not hear me? That makes no sense. Hello? 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 I can hear me. Still very quiet. How? Doesn't make sense. Hello? Now let's close this stupid game's audio down. Alright. Hello. Why is... Yeah, it's coming through quieter. Why? I can see... Oh. OBS got turned down. Should be better? I think that's better. Okay. Are we good? I'm gonna assume we're good. Audio is hard, man. How do people... I don't know. I don't get how people have consistent audio levels on the stream. It's so hard. Okay, we've got this turned down. So hopefully this isn't too loud. Okay? Okay. It seems about in balance. Oh, now the music's different. Okay. So my mistake was turning, I think, the master volume down, and it turned everything down, and then I turned it back up, but it didn't bring the OBS volume back up with it. Okay, so none of you will be able to read this, but let's read it out. So don't know where you are. We are in Tijuana, next to... I don't know how to pronounce that. Next to the border between the US and Mexico. How is it possible you don't know where we are? Oh, you're a migrant. You've been traveling from Central America to achieve the American dream. I see. Don't worry, I'm a good person, and whenever you need my help, you can come with me. First of all, let me tell you what to do and how to do it. Pressing the arrow keys on the keyboard will make you move wherever you want, and if you hold down shift while moving, you move fast. Your energy will be affected by how fast you move and how hungry you are. Okay. So we got like a survival thing. Talk to the Pope. Okay. The Pope is just in this random city in America. Okay, so this is my walk speed. And then if I hold control, this is my lightning Usain Bolt running speed. Which is barely faster than walking. Can you tell? Can you tell, guys? This is me walking. And then this is me running. I've got a little mini map. I'm not really sure where I'm going. Kind of in the middle of a massive, not very safe looking intersection. This appears to be the edge of the universe. How did they get the name Game Maker first? Well, Mark Overmars made a little program a very long time ago called Game Maker, and therefore had the power of search engine optimization on his side. And that little weird program got weirdly popular and then became a bigger thing. And so their name is Game Maker. It's like someone was gonna get it, right? It's not unusual that someone has it and it got big. Migrant. You're seeking asylum, right? You're lucky because the church still has room to give asylum to more people. Has he know I'm on mic? What? With that money, you can buy nutritious food. Where's the food shop? I've just got to look. So I'm getting pretty hungry. Pretty hunger. I notice my energy isn't recovering very fast. So I can't do as much of the super fast running I was doing. It's down. I bid I have $200. Which you guys can't see, but is in like a little window in the bottom right where I am. The street kind of looks like a ruler. Food. That's what I would name my restaurant. Food. I mean, not entirely unironically. If I had a restaurant, I would just call it Food. I'd just have a building and put food on the front. Get something out of Final Fantasy VII, it'd be sick. And then your inventory, right, these guys are explaining game mechanics. Press. Quite a, I know I've just been talking a lot about how text is fine for explaining things. There's quite a lot of it here. And my energy and food are still dropping while I'm trying to read this tutorial. Apples. Pineapples. Bananas. And now I'm out of money. How do I eat this? My health is dropping. Okay. I just spent all my money on fruit because I panicked. But my health and energy are going back up now. Right? The only qualm I have with that restaurant is the food is in tiny letters. You'd want it in huge, bold, neon letters. Neon, big blue neon sign. Food, all caps. No job, midnight to midnight. Oh, I tried to talk. Nah. Talking's a little janky. Does it just... No, it's just going away immediately. Oh, it's because I'm pressing enter to interact, but I'm cancelling the message that comes up automatically. Still early, come back when it gets dark. Okay, so... in terms of this style of game, you've got a very big city that I know you want it to feel big, but it's mostly just feels very empty, right? There's a lot of... like, I can't go in these or anything. Basically just have like a handful of locations I can go. They're all quite far between. I quite like the music. Like just that adds to the sort of ambience of walking between all these places, and we've got a lot of walking to do. It's appropriate. But I'm not sure I'm really vibing with any of these mechanics. We'll just get some food and just kind of live, I think is my goal. I think you could scale this way down. I don't think I need to be walking 8 miles between everything. Not until you have a lot more going on, you know? Oh, now it's dusk, because I've just spent all the time looking around the city for anything else to do. Oh, I can see the chroma key creeping in as it gets darker in this room. We'll sort that out in a minute. Oh, is he already gone to sleep? He's like, oh, it's still early out. Go explore the town. I go explore the town. I come back. Oh, it's too late. Can't go to sleep now. I require rest. Okay. With this game, make a whole bunch of things, like make the city smaller. I think you're trying to do a lot. I think this game needs more stuff, like a lot more stuff and a lot more work before it really becomes like there's not really much to criticize here because there's not much in it. No, but now is it getting lighter again? I don't understand how this day-night cycle is working. We don't have like a timer anywhere. Yeah, I don't really get it. Wait, why do I have this black box in the middle of the screen? Yeah, there's a lot I don't get what's going on here. I think this is too big. I think you need to... I think it's a bit too incomplete for me to really give fair criticism or any direction of where to go from there. Because you're clearly trying to do something quite grand, but it's just not there yet. So what I would say is either, well, not really either. I would work on smaller games. I think you've got a lot of issues in general, sort of like simple things like getting the feel of moving around to be good, general aesthetics, like your UI. There's a lot of like really basic, immediately front-facing problems, and there's enough of them to say that you shouldn't be making something so big, because you're going to spread yourself way too thin and you're going to get way too many problems across the board. So until you're able to deliver on some of those fronts much more competently, I would make smaller game. I would make smaller games, simpler focuses, with less mechanics, less going on. You could make that kind of thing, a survival game in a city, but make it small. Make it a small little town, no like huge journeys between buildings and so on. And keep it about like one thing. Just get enough money to do X or something like that. I don't know. You don't need a big inventory window or anything like that. Just like really simple interactions, and keep it small and simple. I think you need to make smaller, simpler games that are going to teach you a lot, and eventually develop your skills to the point where making something like this is going to be a lot easier. Yeah, I think that's what I want to say. Thanks for that one, though. Cool little idea. Escape from lab, 4 left. What time is it? 5 o'clock. We're gonna open it up for another 3 games. So get in there. I hope you were paying attention. If you were listening. Let's get these lights on. Get my green screen back to normal. Yeah, cool. That actually worked very well. 5. I was going to go get a drink while this came in, but then we'd get way too many. It goes up so quick. 2. 7 and locked. Sorry to anyone who was too slow. That's just how it be. Okay. We're going to play Escape from Lab next. I am going to go get a drink in a second, but we'll get this downloaded. We'll get it up. Extract all. The YYP? What's the YYP doing? What's this doing here? What's that? Let's try and do the volume correctly this time, because this is quite loud. Okay, so the volume should be... Oh, that's just killed it entirely. Okay. I'm thinking you should basically be getting the volume I'm getting here now. So this should be good. I should be mostly quite a lot louder than the game. Well, this is the thing, right, Mr. Sana? It kind of rewards being a long-term viewer, in a way. Because you know you gotta go fast, and you're probably prepared. Right, so you know, like... In a way, it's like, it rewards the people who've been waiting the longest to get their games played, because they've prepared for how fast you need to be. It's not a perfect system, but we're getting there. Anyway, you guys enjoy the ambient tunes of Escape from the Lab, while I go and refill my glass. Alright. So, tell me, people in chat who've been here a while, or maybe even you, creator of the game, what's the first thing I'm gonna say? What's the first criticism I'm gonna give? Might not be super clear because I can't full screen it, I don't think. Wasted screen spice? Kind of. That's not the thing that jumps out immediately. Yeah, Pixel's like, who made this one? Sorry. Wilkin908. Even in the chat? This is the thing when you get towards the end of them. This is why I cut it off, because they disappear. But hopefully he'll see this later. And yeah, so our main character here, kind of like a Mega Man sprite, is totally like he's actually stretched. Like he's got some weird pixels that are like double size, some are regular size. Like he's all over the place. Like he's like stretched to like a non-integer like scale, right? He doesn't look great. We've got fairly crisp looking pixel art drone things over here. They look quite nice, but they conflict with this pixel art thing, which doesn't have an outline, whereas these do. But at least they're the same size. The terrain is totally different size. This guy is like super HD. It does super HD. And so is the title up here. You're right, yeah, there's some wasted space in the background, but I mean, he's clearly following my tutorial here, and he might not have gotten to the parallaxy bit, or just, you know, but I can see why it might end up this way. Yeah, it is some wasted space in a general aesthetic way, but that's less immediately a thing. Yeah, just to note that off the bat. So you got some pixel art on here, so you want to make this, you want to scale this to the same as these. And I know you probably just found this art and just really wanted to use it or whatever, but make it match. You can make it match. Same goes for your terrain. Anyway. Whoa. Oh, I was like, why is he like moonwalking around this? Because he's facing towards my mouse cursor. You kind of want to crosshair or something if that's going to be the case, so that I can tell right away. A or D to move, press space to jump. Again, like inconsistency in the. You get the idea. Very slidey. Are we sure this guy followed my tutorials? These are not my physics. Oh, jeez. Like instantly sets speed in the other direction in the air. It's made this very tight as well. I'm trying to land on top there because I feel like I need to be up there in order to reach. What happens if I fall down there? Am I just stuck? I kind of want to know now. Ah, restarts the whole game. You kind of want to change that when you distribute it, so it's like restarts the level. Hashtag not my physics. Wait, am I? There's like a wall jump. Okay. Click shift. Okay. So you can kind of cling to a wall. No tricky because I managed to skip past that without even seeing it last time. But it's not bad. Not too small. They come out of the wrong place, but same with the blast effect at the beginning. One kills a little drop shadow. I'm trying to remember what of this stuff is just in my tutorial and what's different. What's going on here? Oh, okay. So this just looks like a wall, right? No reason to assume, other than the fact I can't go anywhere, and I did learn that there was a wall jump. I didn't actually have to learn there was a wall jump. Oh, try right click. Well, I'm glad I had you here to tell me that this exists. I hope it's not a vital part of the game. Okay. Can I go up here? Oh, I can. Mario flashbacks. I'm guessing I've hit a wall. First of all, well done on following the tutorial. You got a lot done. You clearly learned a lot, made a lot of stuff, and taken the art in your own direction. It's not been a great direction. Been very inconsistent in pixel sizes. Like, so this stuff looks really detailed and nice and good, and then it just conflicts entirely with like these things. And feeling way too zoomed out as well for this much, too much detail. I don't think the high sometimes it works. Nice little death animation. That's good. I like seeing stuff that's based on my tutorials because I like seeing where people take it. I like the way that like gets big. I can't remember if that was in my videos or not. But it works well here. Oh, careful with that. So you're doing a check every frame when I'm stood in here. Somehow you've managed to make it so it... God. Oh no. You've managed to make it so it doesn't take a health every frame, but it's still doing the screen shake and damage effects every frame, even lasting a little bit afterwards, which was... impressive that, with you made this like hook thing work. It's a little bit janky, but it's cool that it made it work. So here's what I'm gonna say. Let me take this off a minute so I can not hear myself speak for a second. The level design is bad. That's fine. You new developer. I don't really mean that in like a you should feel bad about this kind of way. But the level design is a total mess. Like you're just kind of throwing stuff at the screen, which is very new developer thing to do. You can tell there's not been a whole lot of like thought and cohesion in terms of how the level is going to flow. It's not been like planned out. You've not thought about like the general story of moment to moment. You've just been kind of creating, right? You just sort of been, you got a blank canvas and you've just been like, yeah, we'll put like a big thing up here and some stuff down here, and we'll have some little enemies over here. Like you may have focused on individual little spots, but you haven't created like a cohesive narrative, if you will, of like the way the level flows. It's a very common thing with level design. You've got a few too many competing ideas for your game design and mechanics in general here. Like you got a game about shooting things, but you've also got a game about like you've got a hook shot that doesn't seem super necessary, but it is cool. And you probably just like implemented it to see if you could, right? You've got floaty physics. We'll come back to that. A lot of stuff is just jankily implemented. What I would do is I would cut back, okay? Cut back and focus on one of these things. This is quite cool. Make a game entirely about this. Get rid of lives, make it like one hit kill or whatever, and just make some cool little puzzles that you have to like hook shot over or something like that. That could be a game. Or you want to keep the stuff about shooting enemies because this feels good or whatever, then get rid of this, even though it's, you haven't probably had fun creating it or whatever. It's not necessary. Or find ways to at least work it into your game and make it like important to some of the fights or somehow in some way, right? What I will say to help you with level design. In fact, here's the one thing, okay? If we want to throw out all the other advice in general and we want to focus on one thing, here's what I would do. I would ban yourself from making any levels bigger than one screen. Okay? Make all your levels now. This is gonna be the rule for you. Make all your levels fit in this amount of space. Okay? And you want to have as little of these like huge blocks of walls as possible, and make every block you place have, as much as you can, have a reason for placing it. Make every level have a reason to exist, make every block have a reason to exist, and make no levels bigger than one screen, and make 20 levels that way. Okay? I'm trying to think of see if there's a rule we can give you to help with the wasted space and stuff like that as well. I might even say make it smaller. Like, I would zoom in on the game and make it like a quarter. Like, quarter size. Like, this is about the amount of space you actually need for a level, right? Zoom your game in. Do it like a quarter. But either way, just make it one screen. Go from that and try and have an overall plan for every level. Like, this is the level where you fight 3 enemies. This is the level where you have to get over a difficult pit. This is a level where you have to do this. Like, every level, I want you to have a 1-sentence description of that level and what you do on the level. Okay? Those are my 2 homework tasks for you in this game, okay? And I think if you do that, I think you'll learn a lot about level design, and you'll be in a good place going forward. Well, thanks for this. This is cool. Always good to see what people, like what kind of weird directions people take the stuff from my tutorials. Let's go back. Delete that. Games to play. It's actually 6. Invader Inbound by Glory Meat. Retro arcade shoot 'em up with a mechanic is move to shoot. My state machine tutorial really helped you out? Glad I could help. So who made this one? Glory Meat. How could I forget? How could I forget a name like that? Start quit. Hello, Downwell. Oh, sorry. Hello, Switch and Shoot. Oh, that's loud. One moment. There we go. Is that better? Is that? We'll do it right to 1. Is that okay? This already reminds me of Matt Glanville's Switch and Shoot, which is a game a bit like this, where your ship kind of moves left and right at the bottom of the screen, and you have one button. You press one button, you shoot, and it makes you change direction and go the other way. It's really, really good. I would check it out. This already reminds me a bit of that. It's basically like the same thing, just very close. Wow, hard. Okay. So there's a whole bunch of things I could say here. Have you... Glory Me, have you played Switch and Shoot game by Matt Glanville? Are you in the chat? Glory Meat? Glory Meat, I summon you to the chat. No, he's not here. Okay. So, here's what I'm going to do. So we're going to compare this directly. This game is sick, by the way. Just look at the differences. I played a ton of this MGF, it was really good. Yeah, Mixels, but they work, because Matt knows what he's doing. So it's a shame he's Glory Me isn't here, because this is like a great point of comparison. Like, and this isn't just me to be like, oh, someone has already made your game, but better. Because like they're very, very similar concepts. There's nothing wrong with that. Just make your thing. You're learning from it. But this is just to point out the differences. So you can see the red and the same color scheme, like this red and white thing. But here it's used with purpose, and you can see the player is white, their bullets are white, the enemies that will kill you are red. Okay, we use those colors, that limited color palette, to actually teach you some things about the mechanics, and even the yellow things down here, like, are associated with this. I think it's like the power level, the amount of bullets you shoot. I can't remember entirely. But you can see like mechanics are linked by color. There's obviously like a ton of game feel stuff going on as well, like when you hit things, there's these explosions and the screen shake and stuff that's not present in the other games. So let's just come back now. Let's come back to this. How do I? You see, like the red and white is just sort of used as an aesthetic without much purpose. The bullets are super small. They also disappear weirdly at the top of the screen. You've got a little flash and shake on things like being killed. Like, well, there's not nothing here, you know? But you can just immediately just see the difference in everything, right? Even though the games are, on a surface level, very, very similar. You can just see the tightness, the polish, and the focus in one over the other, right? I'll come back to this. And these cool effects, like when you move on to a new area. Obviously, there's just more stuff in it as well, but that's beyond the point. Less stars as well, you'll notice, right? Very tendency with like Starfield games. You know, just you have like, this is like the generic amount of stars, right? Just one every inch, right? In just like a pattern. They don't move in parallax or anything like that. Here, like, there's actually a very minimal number of stars, and they're just there to. They're much further apart and they move in parallax. There's not so many as to distract you from any of the mechanics. And it's subtle. Oh, glory mate, you're here, but we just finished the. We basically just finished criticizing the game. Basically, if you want to learn how to make your game better, go watch this video of Switch and Shoot, which is a very, very, very similar game to yours in many, many regards. And you can see what it does that you don't. Pretty much just straight up. You can be like, oh. And the reason I'm here pointing them out, because you might not, you might see it and be like, this just looks and feels better for some reason. So I've been trying to point out the specifics. So if you go back in the video, this will be on YouTube or whatever, you can see me talk about the specifics. I'm not going to do it all again. But it comes down to the Starfield being more subtle. Okay, we are going to do it again. Let's summarize. The Starfield is more subtle, less stars, further apart, and there's a parallax to them, so it actually creates that feeling of depth. The colors are used intentionally. Yellow is linked to these like weapon mechanics. Red things are the enemies. White is the spaceship and your bullets and weapons. You've got screen shaker stuff when you kill enemies, but this has got more of it. More of that. The bullets are bigger and clearer, and even leave a little trace of stuff behind them. Explosions and things when you kill the enemies, and a little bit of, like screen freezing. And also the things are just bigger, I think, as well. Like the ship is a bit bigger, and the enemies feel a bit bigger, I think. Yeah. Not by much, but just a little bit bigger. Like, game over thing is good. Like, if I just game over, like, this is good, a little bit low on the screen, it's not perfectly centered or whatever, that's fine. But it's nice and big and clear. Like, your score on the top left is a little bit weird, right? You see Switch and Cheats was like in the middle, because it was just a small number that you don't want to be focusing on all the time, which is reasonable. But it's still like centered it, because it's just a weird aesthetic to have it like in that odd position on the top left. Okay, those are the main things I would say about that. Thank you, Hinaku, for subscribing. I don't know if you're here or not. Always the weird thing with YouTube alerts. Yeah, and you've got some weird like edges to space where bullets like disappear over a certain height, whereas they should probably just disappear when they hit the edge of the screen, and so on. A few little procedural things like that. Thank you for that one. $65. No, Christ. That's what it would be if I left it open. Why has it gone super white back there? Oh, it's just the light shining from. Let's take a look. We'll see it immediately when we go to a webcam, right? Look at that. Look at that. From that window. It's just gone super bright suddenly. Maybe it was the clouds before. That's why I turned all these lights on and everything. Maybe the clouds are just gone away. Lock us into the darkness. Turn on the overhead light. And then come back to here and we're good, I think. Okay. Read this! Controls! Golly, I guess we have to read that. Share it. Sean JS. How do I get download scanning for viruses? Oh, I hate Google Drive, man. Preview? I can basically see it. I just want to open it. Open with text editor. You can do it, Google. Out of this after you play Schism, I think this is the correct day to play it. Eh? D-pad, left axis, jump A, B. We need a pad. Alright, these wires. Alright. Use first item, X, Y, back buttons, and triggers. Okay. I think I'm gonna do a stream where I finally use Godot. I think we'll do a stream at some point of like Sean gives up and tries Godot so that all the stream viewers will shut up about it. We'll stream me like learning the interface and like the vagueness of how it works or something. Try and make a platformer in it or something. That could be a fun stream. JH, no, I did not. I did not take part in the GMTK jam. I'm trying to do less jams. I'm kind of getting the urge to do another one, but like I've got too much to do. I need to finish the things I'm working on at the moment. Jams tend to have a bit of a exhausting effect on me sometimes, and I'm trying to find some inner peace somewhat at the moment, and reduce stress and anxiety in my life a little bit, and jams contribute to that a lot. So as fun as they are, it's annoying. A lot of things I find most fun in life are also very stressful. So I'm trying to do a bit less of those things. But we'll get back to doing jams. It'll happen. Project Summit. Whip controller needed. What's the first thing I'm going to say about this? Resolution. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's better. What's the first thing I'm going to say about this? Who made this game? I should always try and pay attention to that. Matthew Patel. Definitely seen him in the chat before. Matthew Patel, what am I going to say? Size of the pixels. That's right. Easy enough thing to get right. So, get it right. Solo. Like, this stuff here where it kind of happens is the subtler issue that's like it's not great, but this is the type of thing I expect people to not notice and sort of like gonna accidentally leave in. This is a bit more obvious. I know it's like a whip thing and you just sort of throw it in so people know, but still it's not a great look, right? So you could make it look a lot better very easily. Wow, that YouTube alert thing is super loud. But thank you nonetheless, Pavram Parimi, for subscribing. Can I make that quieter in any way? YouTube alert box. Oh, it's apparently very low on my mixer, so hopefully it didn't come too loud for you guys. This is cute. Is this are all these different sprites, or are you doing palette swapping for the colors? Just curious. Is it significant which I pick? Oh, I'm pressing. I'm trying to. I'm pressing. This is making me press like bumper buttons. Seeing this. Teal. Oh, now I can. Right. Small, medium, big. Small. Let's go with small something. Oh god, I'm running out of time to do something. Oh, was I meant to just get to the top? Ah! I'm stuck. These procedurally generated. Do I actually have a double jump? I can't tell. Okay, I definitely do. This doesn't seem to always work. Am I just jump buffering myself? Or is it on a cooldown? How does your jump work? Like in the code, how does it work? It uses both lots of sprites and also palette swapping. What? I don't have any. I've not discovered any items yet. I'm trying to wait a bit in between each jump because it seems like there's a cooldown. Ugh, this is hard. Oh, it's very close. Oh, I did it with 0.12 seconds. Should this have sound, by the way? I've not turned it too low or something with the other ones. No, okay. It has a cooldown. Okay. Don't do that. you don't want to put a cooldown on a double jump. Generally speaking, bad idea. If I learn I have a double jump, I'm going to expect it to work every time. I'm going to expect it when I jump, I get a second jump. I expect that I don't get a third jump. That's fine. But I expect when I land, I'm then able to do a double jump again. If I don't know why. I'm like, well, this worked last time I was in the air and I pressed jump again. I had a double jump. Why did it not work this time? And it just felt broken. So don't do that. Second thing. Oh, we finally have an example that contradicts exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say, why, if my goal is to get to the top, do I already start halfway up? It makes me feel like there should be a reason for me to go down, right? Like, why can't I come down here? You know? Tricky because it's procedurally generated, but like, this is what you have to do when you procedurally generate your worlds, right? Oh, what happened there? I didn't say. Oh, maybe I skipped through the you lose screen. Is there no delay on letting me click that? Let's find out. I'm just gonna hit A. Yeah, that's an issue. So when you present that you lose screen, you need to give some delay before the user can press a key so they don't accidentally skip through it and not be aware of what happened. Definitely make the double jump not have a cooldown. Make it just reset when you land. Oh, the ice is different terrain. Interesting. And the problem with a procedurally generated map like this is there's no way to guarantee that it's going to be fun. I mean, I'm impressed enough that each level is like possible, you know? That probably took some work. Or at least they seem possible. Don't know if they're all possible in the time. Can I come out? Ah, escape just closes the entire game. Okay. What's it called? Project Summit. Solo Arcade. Can only do small in arcade. This doesn't have a timer. Oh, is that for like meant to be versus mode or something? Oh, okay. This is a different level. Again, why do I start halfway up? I mean, it's not the way you would solve the problem of not really knowing that I'm supposed to get to the top. You'd solve that with explicit teaching, but it doesn't help that I start halfway up and there's a bunch of unnecessary level design that's just a failure space. Like this is fine when I start like at a base of something, but even here I'm like I've got a lot of left and right to do that just slows me down. Like all these items, but they're just too far out of my way. I'm not likely to interact with them. Okay, I've got boots, which I'm guessing just make me less slippy on the ice. Bit inconsequential. Uh, the art in here is nice, and for the most part, is consistent in this space, in the game space. Yeah, you've got pixel issues here and here, but being on the UI it makes it less bad. The general art here is very nice. I like the loose screen. Again, it needs to not let you just skip through it. But not a big deal. Not the worst problem in the world. So, um, spreading yourself a little thin by trying to create like a versus mode with multiplayer and like main mode with like multiple lives and stuff like that. I'd I'd stick to that first level of just a thing where you're trying to get to the top and try and perfect that experience. So have it like start you at the bottom. Include the items on there if you want. I don't know. I haven't seen all of them. Some of them might be better. I don't know. And really work on this procedural script to make the maps more interesting. Hmm. Then again, I don't know. Maybe you've got a thing that proceeds on, and there's spikes that come in and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you're not spreading yourself too thin. I would. The main thing I would do is make it feel better, right? I'd make this jumping like because you put a lot of time into this, and I think it's not all been in the best places. Like you've got a lot of time making lots of playable characters with different colors and all that stuff, and focusing on the grander idea of the game. Whereas you need to make this core thing better first. Like it would have been more impressive to me if you sent me something with only one character and one color I could play, but this all felt super solid. And then you could go on from there once you have that and you're confident with it to add in those extra colors of players and so on and so forth, where you're just getting value on top of value there, right? Whereas you're not getting as much value out of making all these extra characters, different modes, if the core experience doesn't have the value there to be multiplied by those things. Those are value multipliers, right? When you add something like a multiplayer mode and different characters and stuff like that. Okay, they're there to enhance the value of whatever there already is, but it relies on the value of what there already is. Um, and the main issues with this are the physics like and the controls just don't feel that good. Okay, the jumping doesn't feel that good. There's no animation or a sound or anything like that. Um, you've got a cooldown on the double jump, which just feels really grim because it feels like I'm just pressing jump, but a lot of times I'm expecting jump to happen and it doesn't happen. If you're really attached to the cooldown for whatever reason, you need something to indicate it. You need something to show me when I can use double jump again, rather than just trying to guess and learn the timing. Um, but honestly, I would get rid of it, make it reset when you just touch the ground. Player spawns in the middle because sometimes it starts to try at the bottom. Right. So I mean that's an issue with procedural generation, but that's an issue you've got to fix, right? That's not an issue. That's not the thing it doesn't feel like a good workaround to me to just stick you in the middle of the map because then I'm just like, look at all this unused space beneath me. What is this all about? Right? But I think the game idea is cool. Procedural thing, climb to the top of the map, and I like a lot of the extra ideas of lots of little characters and of multiplayer mode. Get to the top as fast as you can. That's cool. That's a solid idea with a lot of room for growth. But you need to follow us. Focus. Hearing myself talk, man, I think I'm starting to slur my words because I think I'm hearing myself as I'm speaking. So I'm like, I'm starting to slur my speech. Anyway, I would you need to make this core experience in here solid. Okay, you need to make the core game feel of moving the character around feel really good above all else, above anything else. And you need to stop working on any other part of this game, any of the multiplayer, any modes, maps, any of that stuff. Cut all of that out until this feels incredible and just intrinsically really fun to play. Okay. I don't know if I don't know if I'd go so far as handcrafting mountains. I think stick with the procedural thing. You come this far with it. But semi procedural is a nice idea to create interesting chunks that like reappear in different ways, but that gets trickier. I don't have the best advice. I'm not an expert in making procedural games. It's hard. It's just difficult, you know. I don't have the best advice to give you there. All I can say is don't expect it to do loads of work for you. You have to do a lot of work to make a procedural system good. A lot of work. And you need to make that good and make this game feel good on the first level, like super, super, super strong, where people are like, I want more of this and I want to play more of this and want to see where it goes, I want to develop, than have than anything else. Rather than a time I have like lava rise up, that's a cool idea. That's a cool feel thing. But because things like that, like the transition into the you lose screen and stuff like that, it's all kind of like it's all very work in progress, which is fine, but it's work in progress because your time has been spent on other stuff. You know, it's been spent on making the menus work and the selecting character work and items work and all that jazz. Okay. Anyway, I think I'm just repeating myself now, so we'll finish now on that one. Move on. Project some delete. Control Shift. Yeah, I thought from its name this was going to be a GMTK Jam one. Top down shoot where you control a damaged ship. Control 1 wants to move, W to move towards the mouse, right mouse button hold to shoot. I will forget all of that instantly. God damn it, raw files. Can I just make them automatically open with 7-zip? Probably can, right? Oh, 59 meg of music to download. Open. Choose another app. Always use this app. God damn it. Shut up, Run Raw. Display files and Explorer. Maybe that'll do it. Alright, cool. Okay, we've worked out how to win Raw. Once again, I've not paid attention. Whose game is this? Thiago Oliveira. Sorry for probably butchering your name. When will I be accepting new games? Next Friday, probably. If I do this kind of stream again next Friday. We might do a different stream next Friday. I don't want to do these every single week in the same way. We really only get one day a week where we can do a stream. I'd like to do more, but it's probably not going to work out. Probably we're going to be limited to a stream a week, really. Realistically, and still being able to do everything else I want to do with my time. Okay, the games left to play. How many we got? 4. Gosh, can't let that one extra go untracked, can we? Thank you for looking out for the integrity of the stream there. I should organize a game jam. Oh, I don't know, man. I think there's enough. I think there are enough game jams. Do we need? Is the Sean JS game jam something the world needs? I don't know. Everyone else was hosting a game jam, so. Jeff Merrill, I've just noticed you've been doing these lately. Sorry if you have for a while. When and where do you announce the submissions for this? We do the streams on a Friday, and it's basically just first come, first served. If you arrive to the stream early, get your submission in, chances are good we're going to play it. What we do is we take in about 10 submissions then, usually, or roughly that many, depending on how long I'm planning on streaming. Then when we get to the end, if I'm planning on streaming a bit more, we open it up again at around 10, and we do a few more. So there's like those two kind of windows that sort of exist for getting your game in, which is an extra bonus to doing it in stage design because it gives people who show up later a chance to get their game in. But there's just a lot of people who want to get in, so there's never going to be a perfect way to do it. I mean, if we can find a way to do more streams, great. But I mean, this isn't. I don't know. My Patreon supporters are paying me to do tutorial videos, so that's the main thing I do. So really, I only get to do these streams as kind of a side fun thing. I don't really make any money or anything out of this. Maybe we can find a way to make this sustainable in some way. Maybe we'll do more of them, but I don't know. I think it's just gonna remain a fun thing that we do on Fridays. Press any key to start. Control shift. Oh, now I heal. Oh god. Arrow. Oh god. Game's very loud. It'll teach me to take my headphones off, won't it? Trust me, you probably got the mental experience I was having by just hearing a ton of noise. Let's read this again. Y to move, W to move towards the mouse. Oh, okay. It swaps control mode every now and again. What's error then? It's just inverted. I didn't seem to be able to move no matter what. Okay. Well, why would I ever want to shoot heal? I can't shoot that on myself, can I? I guess it just stops shooting when it's on that. I feel like I was doing everything I can there to fly into things. How do I get a new gun? Oh, is it just restarted? Is it just playing a new copy of the music every time I restart? How do you heal yourself? Is that a good thing? No. No. It's green, so I'm like, maybe that's a heal. Oh. No. PS goes through the walls. Oh, but it hits me. You've got some Mixels issues going on here as well. mostly in the UI, so it's like that case again where it's like it kind of works. And honestly, I don't know, the visual style of this, like the visual style sort of is Mixels, so it sort of works. I think I kind of forgive the different pixel sizes all over the place in this. I think it sort of works. It at least feels done with some kind of thought, you know? I kind of want to play a version of this that's just normal. I'm quite enjoying the shooting at stuff, but whenever the controls go nuts, I'm just like, okay, it's just inverted, isn't it? But I also spin. Now I heal. How do I? Ah. How am I alive? Okay. Oh. Yeah, I feel very unclear on what's kind of going on all the time, but I think that's kind of a point. Careful with green and red as this, because that's the most common, like, colorblind issue. Especially when it's like max, like 255 green and 255 red. Audio cue when the control type changes. Yeah, something like that would be good. Some sort of cue when it happened. I don't really get how to use the heal thing. Bank the shots off the wall. Ugh. That feels hard. For the most part, that just sort of encouraged me to dot shoot. You know, I like it. I think... Oh, God. Right, let's close it. Let's just bring this up for now. So, I like it, but I almost like it in spite of the main gimmick. Feels like it's an experimental thing for a game jam. You're like, oh, the theme is losing control. Shoot away. Like your controls like change and stuff over time. I feel like that element of it is like just the least fun part of it. And otherwise, I quite enjoy just the moving around and shooting. Like that in itself is actually delivered really well and really fun. And then it's kind of it feels like ruined by this mechanic of making you lose control. Which sometimes you perform an experiment. Sometimes it doesn't show up as being all that good, and that's fine. Um, but the actual execution is pretty good, I think. I like all the effects. I like the shadows on everything is nice. Like the sort of fake depth in this little arena. The shakes and stuff are good. It's a little bit. I think it's a bit too manic. Like too much information density crammed into this like small space that my brain cannot keep up with anything that's going on. But maybe that's just me. Um, Hitpoint bar made in like 5 minutes. Yeah, fair enough. You can kind of tell it doesn't quite have the quality of everything else. And also the pixels are way oversized on it. I think I would prefer like a hits counter or something. Like you can be hit X number of times or something like that. It's definitely juicy, but I think I think it may be overjuiced, which I know a lot of the old TED Talks and that like to pretend is not possible, and you can just scale this stuff up to infinity. But I think you can go too far. I think there's just it's a bit too loud. I like that these are big and bright, like as you can generally see with your periphery what's going on, but it's all just it's too much. It's too much going on, too much to think about. For me anyway. Maybe for other types of players, this is like a super casual experience. But for me it was just a bit like I'm out of breath. Stuff. But these are very like Trying to find the right word to describe it. Very abstract criticisms, right? Like for the most part, I think this is really like it's been executed super really well. I don't think the idea necessarily works out in spite of being delivered really well. So I think that in a way you kind of prove quite well that the idea just doesn't work from my perspective anyway. As I say, it's just my opinion. I think it proves quite well that the idea doesn't work because it's actually executed really well. So it's hard to say like, well, if the bullets were a bit nicer and the feel was a bit better and all that kind of stuff, it would work because the feel is actually really good. And all that stuff is great. So all that's left to point to as to why it doesn't work is the idea. I think that's what I'm trying to get at with this. But maybe you know that yourself already. Maybe you think that, or maybe you just disagree. Well, I don't know. That's how I felt about it. But really well made piece of game. That's very cool. You should be very proud of it. Solid game jam game. Super solid game jam game. A minus if we're giving grades. And a 3. Let's play 1-bit by just a small boy. See you, JH. This game was made for the Wowie Game Jam. In this game, you jump towards the top of the mountain. Kind of overscoped with this game, which why there isn't much content. My first criticism for you is that you overscoped with this game. There should be more content. Okay, moving on. No, I'm kidding. Download. Okay. Extract. And run. I just realized I didn't actually post anywhere that we were doing the stream today, but we got plenty of people in and everything, so I guess maybe I didn't need to. This is your game. How do we full stop? Why are all these games so loud? It's going to be a consistent problem with these streams, isn't it? Is this better? That sounds better. Let's bring this over here so you can hear all of the wide range, the spectrum of my voice contained within my Blue Yeti microphone. 1-bit, 2-bit, 3-bit, 4. Can we full screen this? No, maybe not. So we just got this smaller vision. Why does this happen now and again? You all saw that, right? Why does this? All my icons that were all not nicely positioned, but more nicely positioned than this, every now and again just go, nah, screw it, we're going everywhere, and they just reset into some random pattern, and I don't know why. It keeps happening. It drives me insane. Look at all this. Why has it done this? Whatever. Anyway. I kind of want to zoom in on this. I hate having to do this stuff, but... Specific window... Slinks the cat demo? Is that it? It's not showing if it is. Slinks the cat demo. Is it red? Maybe OBS just thought something else was running. Anyway. Weird visual oddity of this game, we'll put it over here, is that this white space at the bottom feels like maybe there's a bit too much of it. And at first I thought the window was too big or something, and the game was like here, but this is just the ground, right? Enable auto arrange. I don't want to auto arrange. I want to manually arrange, but I just want it to stay how it is. Start. That was a nice little transition. One of the game, move using the arrow keys. You know, I don't get motion sickness, but this game is making me feel a little woozy, this wobbling. I'm going to the left as well, this feels strange. Okay. We move under ledges in order. Okay. I'm not sure I get it yet, but that's fine. I don't seem to be able to get close enough to that. Oh, this is the wrong way. Okay, so you've accounted if I just went right. I'm pretty sure I have that unchecked. We don't have auto arrange checked. It just every now and again, like I'll position them everywhere and then it'll just do a refresh and just move everything. Okay. So each one moves me about 2 tiles high, right? That will get me to there. That will get me to there. I like the mechanic. It's cool. It's weird. I don't really get it, but it's cool. It's delivered well enough, and I get how it works. And it's trippy. Ooh, what was that? No, it's doing weird window size stuff. Which maybe you can't see because I full screened it. Glitch vision. It can't be. Well, it is. It is a dead end. Oh, okay. So they're not actually fit. They are permanent walls. Intentional bugs. Okay. Not supposed to be here. I kind of wish that wasn't the theme almost, because I was liking it more when it was just the mechanics. How do I get up here? Probably like this? Oh. You stop going on top of there. You're getting baited. Turn back while I still can. Oop. So you can't really. Let me. I'm gonna make it smaller so you can kind of see some of the things that are going on with the window. Yeah. Couldn't see them, but it went to like the bottom left of the screen, the mono. Is this an... Oh, this is just this bit again, but... The triple dot is not as spooky as people think it is. Oh yeah. Just naturally always want to go up there. Final warning. Before what? I had this problem with another game that got submitted. That does this whole turn back now thing. Like, that works best when you have a... when you can viably turn back. I never really like when a linear game starts doing this whole turn back now, ooh, like I'm gonna. Like, you know, I'm obviously just gonna press on because this is obviously the way the game goes, and there's a ludonarrative dissonance, if you will, between what the game obviously wants of me and what the story is telling me, you know? The visual of it looks nice, though. You disagree? Adds narrative? Does it? Ruh-roh. Like, there's ways you can deliver that, but oh, is that just the end? Hey, thanks for playing. Fair enough. No, this was really good. I think the constant wavy effect was maybe a bit much, but I did get used to it. And the mechanic is really cool. I like the platforming stuff of it. I think it's really good. I didn't really get what you were going for with the story, and it felt you were going for a mood more rather than anything else. And so the stuff that's like, oh, turn back now, oh, it's getting spooky, but it's definitely not gonna deliver on all this setup is a bit weak, you know. And it's something a lot of people do because they played a game that's got something like that in it that was delivered really well and was really resonant for them. And so like, I want to kind of capture that atmosphere and feeling in my game. But it's actually quite hard to pull off. But the game itself is very cool. The art is good. I think you had a few moments of resolution mismatch, but very, very hard. I think it was the boss at the end looked a bit weird. But it kind of goes with the weird glitchiness of it as well. Yeah, it's good. Because like when you open something that's like oh, the game itself is breaking, that's like a mystery. It's like, oh, why is the game breaking? You know, why is the game bugging out and stuff like that? And just the idea, just that question isn't itself enough. Like it's got to go somewhere, right? And when I see it in a jam thing, I'm always a bit like, because I know because it's a jam thing and it's small, that it's not going to go anywhere satisfying. It's just going to be that's the mood of the game, right? That's what I would think. Yeah, the boogie stuff. I mean, I get that the boogie stuff was in there because that's the game jam, and sometimes this is the thing. I see games from game jams that have like suffer because of their adherence to the theme or whatever. When there was some other cool game underneath that just doesn't really go well with the idea of the theme or whatever. Um, But I would play a game that was just like this movement mechanic, like just expanded upon and then goes all over the place. And the aesthetic of it's really nice. And like I don't think that the glitchy stuff was even delivered badly or anything like that. It just feels a bit vacuous compared to just the interesting gameplay. That's all I'll say. I don't think it's too bad. It's just something I'm talking about it a lot because I've noticed it in a few games that have been submitted. This is not the only game that's done this kind of thing. It's good. Thanks. Flip side from Evolio. Well, we finally got there. We got to your game. Demo on the flip side, also known as Flipside, is a card game where every card has two sides with different effects, sometimes even opposite. You can flip the cards at any time you want to twice the amount of tactical options. Golly. GM48 game. We'll play your latest version. God, that folder's getting big. I'm gonna have to clear it out at some point. Mess around with local files because it's fun. Make the start card deal 99 damage. Nice. Should will open any second now. Come on, computer. Don't let me down. Mostly it's just a joke in reference to my hair, G Studios. It is graying and super long, and I kind of just look like an aging hermit at the moment. Sorry about the music. Oh god, am I gonna have to get ready to turn this down? Okay, it is open. Okay. Oh, I'm not hearing anything. Play the card to start. Unplayable, but it says unplayable. Aha, cute. I like it. But then it's opened up into way more stuff. That tutorial to me stood out there as a great way to show the player the main way of interacting with your game. You have cards, you can flip them, you can play them, and they tell you what they do on them. Very, very good. Very nice tutorial there. Well done. But then what's this guy? What's this? What's this? What's this? What are any of these? End turn? What? 2? 0? What does this mean? What? Just suddenly loads more information on top of it. Loads more. Okay, the music isn't too loud. That's fine. My main worry when someone is like, sorry about the music, that it's going to be super loud. Those are loud noises. Okay. Heal. I can only heal. Oh, dumbass. I can flip them. Why can't I cast this? I've got one thingy. Why is it red? Oh, now it's... what? Whatever. I'm gonna constantly forget to flip them. Card draw is good. Zoom in on the cards and stuff is nice. Your art is all over the place, but I think like, it's not been your focus in this, so that's fine. Why is this suddenly like way cooler art here than everything else? Not sure what the colours signify if anything. I want this. It's relatively intuitive. I wish it kind of had like mechanics I'm used to from like Slay the Spire or whatever, and could give myself armor with the fire shield rather than it healing. That's a bit weird. So I had no way to avoid that. It's not telling me what they're gonna do. Oh, it takes all three to gain that. Very hard to balance games like this, by the way. You make a lot of work for yourself in that. But I kind of like how bad it looks. Because it says to me that you've actually kind of put the focus in the place it sort of needs to be for a game like this, which is trying to make these, like the playing the cards work, and also like you kind of got to get the system right. This is a good way for this to look as a prototype for this kind of game, right? Just no more effort than anything really needed, right? Just a bare minimum way to show everything. So I kind of like how placeholdery everything is, because it says you're focusing on the correct things, but you've got a lot of work for yourself in just making this balanced and any good. Will that last? Yes. That all works. That's good. I like that. It happens in sequence. You've got it all working. Oh, my times 2 thing's gone. Oh, damn it. Not row. I thought that would at least make it heal twice as much. So I think keep focusing on what you're focusing. I think work on the card design. I mean what they do, not like the artwork and stuff. And I like the minimalism of it all. I think keep it like this, and keep focusing on these systems, refine the tuning of it, the balancing of it, and expect that to take a long time, you know? But this is fun. This is good little card thing. Each one having like a dual purpose. It's kind of cool. I feel like it doesn't mean too much. It's just like every card has 2 cards, which is like kind of cool. I'm not sure how could that be like more interesting. I mean, it's not interesting, like Like each one kind of has a theme, and it's just like does like a pseudo opposite of whatever it does, right? Maybe if you had like 2 mana pools or something. I don't know. There's room for growth in this. I think it's cool. Keep doing what you're doing. I think that's good. Focus on the systems. It all looks pretty ugly, but that's fine. And I like how you've put time into making this like feel nice or whatever, you know, so that when there is good art, it'll look really nice when it does this nice little zoom in. It's good. Not really have much else to say about it. I thought that was actual art. You haven't seen the placeholders. Some of the cards look quite nice. And maybe, I don't know, that's just the style you're going for. But it did all, the game and the backgrounds and the characters and stuff, it did all look really bad. But I assume that was intentional because you were just focusing on the system. If it's not, it's still fine because you've hopefully not spent too much time on it. But I wouldn't worry about it, is what I'm saying. Either way, regardless of how the art is or came to be, I would not worry about it. Keep focusing on the systems, and then when you get it super refined and feels really, really good, then pour loads of time into caring about the aesthetic and seeing how to make it better. Okay. Last game from James Duran, Action Cleanup Crew. Well, it's 6:30. I was hoping to be done by 6, but it's now 6:30. Rip. Last game. We'll just turn this off. We'd like to. Okay. Where's stack space around it? Where's mouse space? Okay. Full screen off. I mean, it looks pretty full screen to me. And OBS, thank you. 3 hours of waiting. I hope so. Tutorial. This is quite loud. At least I can tell now. Because I can compare it to my voice. Hello there. Still a bit. Welcome to your Action Cleanup Crew official training. You may notice a large amount of blood flow. Do not be alarmed. Okay. Cleaning up after a fight. This is the game, right? There's a game like this that exists. I can't remember what it calls. Which I initially knew more about, so I could draw some direct comparisons. Oh, they start dripping blood as you're carrying them as well. I'm supposed to pose the bodies first, right? There we go. Clean me. You also got pixels in terms of the rotation here, but at least it's using subpixels and kind of feels okay. Okay. Okay, these aren't like actual conveyor belts. Wait, what? Why are they shooting me? Where's my job is just to clean stuff up, right? I'm charging mass. This is very different from the tutorial. Is anyone dead yet? I hear a lot of noises. Where's the incinerator? Oh. What is the mask for? What do I need the mask? That was not explained. Did feel a bit like maybe the tutorial was missing something. I was like, is this all there is? You just gotta go in and clean up. But no, there's a whole fight going on. Some of the tutorial text should have probably been like, you'll be going into live combat situations where a fight is actually happening and you'll have to clean up as it happens. What happens? Does the time run out and I get like a rating? A lot of bullets! Oh, I died. But I get remade. Nice little animation. They seem to be specifically aiming at me. I'm not part of the fight, guys. I'm just the cleanup guy. Do we even know who's winning? Feels like more of them keep spawning. Does the fight ever end? I'm guessing the mask is like a life, right? And if you get hit again while the mask is down, that's when you die. Not immediately clear, but it's not too bad. Oh, these noises are a bit annoying. I get it, he's dead. I keep expecting these to like affect my momentum. I'm gonna step on these conveyor belts. I like the concept of this, by the way. Just you running around mid-fight, like, don't mind me, just cleaning everything up. You go about your business. I will see to it that everything sparkles afterwards. And the cleaning up is pretty satisfying. It's just a naturally satisfying thing to do to make things cleaner. Wait, that's my body? Ah, that's cool. I like that. Oh my god, I did wonder when I died. I was like, I wonder if my body will be left behind. Oh, I think they won. Time's about to run out. Okay. Grade F. Wow, I was hella bad, apparently. Any reasons? You gonna give me any stats? No, that's just it. I think we'll leave it there. That's good. I think the tutorial, a bit like, is it the game we just played? A bit like something else that I can't remember now that we played recently. The tutorial gives you some info. I'm like, okay, cool. Oh yeah, like the card thing we just played, and it's like, okay, this is clear information, good. And then we go into the game, and suddenly the game has a bunch more going on that we've not been told about. Okay, right? I don't know. I'm allowed to die at all. I don't know. I don't really know how well I'm doing at any point in time, and I still didn't really know how well I was doing at the end, other than I got an F. Like, I guess that's bad, you know? Did my math teacher give me stats and score? Well, I mean, they would tell me what I did wrong. Yeah. I wouldn't do badly on a test or do badly in my homework and just receive no comment. Or just get a bad at the written at the top of my homework or something. Like so. Generally, a lack of clarity on how well I'm doing and what the game cares about doing well is a problem here. But I like the game in concept. I like the franticness of it. I like the kind of story it tells of you playing, right? Where you're really like, don't mind me, just cleaning up, and it's good and it's quite cool. Just needs a bit more clarity about what the game is actually expecting from you, and how some of its mechanics work and key main issues. Other than that, it's good. I like it. I think that's where we're gonna leave it, guys. It's now nearly 20 to 7. As always, the streams go on way longer than I ever hope they're going to. um, which is mostly my fault. Just I spend a bit too much time on the games, but like I like playing the games. I like to hang out in the games for a bit and give them a bit of time. When really I should be moving on a lot quicker than I am doing. But I like to, I want to make sure my criticisms are fair, so I like to play at least a little bit of the game and make sure. Sometimes I'll criticize something when it turns out to actually like be there for a good reason or something. Um, but yeah, okay. This was fun. Whether or not like we've been streaming consistently on Fridays, I will do another stream next Friday, but I don't know whether we'll be doing this exact same thing again. Um, or whether or not maybe I'll be doing some Pokey Poke or something else, or anything else. We're gonna do. I'm gonna get episode 25 of the Action RPG up um today, so that's for people who are following that. You can look forward to that. Let's get it out. Video products. Big runners. Have I muxed it? I'm not sure I've actually muxed it. So 25. MP4, AC3. No, I have not. MIG-UI. Let's mux this together. And in the meanwhile, while I'm doing this and getting ready to end the stream, if anyone has, we do FAQs this session at the end. Okay. Anyone has any game maker related questions? Any questions? Me in general, the work that I do, um, game design questions, anything you feel that I am reasonably well suited to answer, go ahead and ask them now, and I'll answer as many as I can before we cut the stream. Where am I? Tools. MP4 mixer. Episode 25 MP4. Episode 25 AC3. Q. What do I think of a side-scrolling game without jumping? Um, I don't know. I would have to play it. Go make it, and I'll tell you how I feel about it. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, what does that mean? A side-scrolling game could contain a vast multitude of different elements that do not rely on jumping. Lisa is a side-scrolling like RPG that doesn't have like a jump button, and it's super good, by the way. So 20 up it goes. Should be careful about uploading a thing while I'm streaming. That's probably going to ruin my stream, but This is chilling out here. About the card game, do I think I should learn pixel art so the game doesn't look like ass? I think you should keep focusing on what you're focused on, which is the system. Get a prototype that you think is a fun game that you want to develop. But I mean, realistically, I would probably just move on and make a new game entirely because you don't want to sit around on one project like that for ages unless you're convinced you're onto something that you really want to develop into something more. But in the event that you were and you were developing that game further, I would focus entirely on just getting the systems fun. I wouldn't care about how it looks at all. Um, do the absolute minimum in terms of how it looks and just focus entirely on the gameplay side of it. Then learn pixel art is like that's potential 10 years plus of your time, right? Obviously you can get competent faster than that, but like it depends how deep down that rabbit hole you're going, right? So hire an artist or work with an artist, I don't know, man. I wouldn't worry too much about it. I think if you were working more on that, I would just keep focusing on the gameplay side of it and the balance and the card stuff because I think that's where you're going to learn the most. Other than that, though, I would just move on, make more stuff, just keep making things. I think you're doing a perfectly fine job. Go simpler. If you find you're spreading yourself too thin, you can't focus on the art and the stuff at the same time. Then just condense until you have an idea that's so small that you can deliver excellently on everything at once. Like that very simple platform we played with the guy who like jumped by going underneath ledges and that. Like very very simple idea. Was therefore able to execute quite a lot of polish on top of it with very very simple graphics. Simpler graphics than yours, I should add. So like, but with a way stronger, more cohesive aesthetic. Play some more video games? No, I'm done for the day. Could I use certain aspects of GMS2 in Unity? Certain coding? Probably not. I don't really know what you mean by that. Oh, and now this is uploaded, but it's processing. Okay, so this is going to come out soon. We're going to end the stream here. Not a lot of questions in the chat this time. That's fine. As I said, we'll do another stream next week. I don't know what kind of stream it'll be. Whether it'll be the same sort of thing or something else entirely. But we're going to try and do these semi-regularly. I'm not going to promise them that every single Friday. I don't think I could do this every single week. Because there's so many different things I want to do with streams. Like I don't just doing the video games every single week is because I really only going to get time to spend a day doing streaming every week. So it doesn't really. I don't really make any money out of this, right? I just do this because it's fun, and there's a thing I can kind of fit in as content in between the other stuff that I do. So I really only get one day I can do it. Pairing it with the day I release videos makes sense, and so I'm probably not going to be doing these just every single week, but we'll try and do them regularly, like whether it's like every other week at a minimum kind of thing, just so that people know to expect them and so people can be like, okay, this is when I can go submit my game type of thing. So there will be more. This is our 4th week in a row we've done this, I think, so we're doing well on that front. AOPG thing coming out soon. All the work I do, all of this exists in the first place because of people on Patreon supporting me. So if you want to see more stuff and you want to see more streams, maybe you don't care as much about the tutorials, maybe you're really enjoying the live stream stuff, go support me on Patreon and be like, hey, I'm here supporting you on Patreon because I like the streams. If you go there and you're supporting me and you're making my stuff continue to exist and you're telling me why you are there and the things that you specifically like, that's going to weigh into my decision of what it is I'm going to do more of, okay? So there's an idea. Okay. That's everything. If you're on YouTube in the aftermath of the stream, do all the bits, the like, the subscribes, and all those things, and you know how to use YouTube. I don't need to tell you. I don't need to tell you how to use YouTube. So use YouTube and engage with the things that represent liking content and or disliking content and click all the buttons. Question: should I move over to the GM beta before I start implementing art and animation to my game? I heard it has some nice features for those sorts of things. I would not use the beta for any in progress project. Just keep doing what you're doing. I won't worry about it. Yeah, loads of cool things are coming. Let them come out in all due time. It would be my advice. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to end it here, and we'll see you all for something or other. Who knows what it'll be next week. Once again, the question: do I click end stream, or do I just stop? Or do I click end stream on OBS, or do I click end stream on YouTube? I'll watch the VOD back later, and we'll see where it cut off. But I'm going to click it on YouTube. Are we ready? 3. I'll do the thing again where I just wave.